you've ever visited Charleston, South Carolina, you've seen homes like this one here behind me, which are referred to as a Charleston single, and they exist almost exclusively right here in Charleston. So what's so special about them? Well, in this video, we're gonna go over the history, the design, the practicality, and the historical significance of the Charleston single. Welcome to Living in Historic Charleston. If you're new here, my name's Bill, and I'm your host, guide, and local real estate agent. If you're not new here, welcome back. So today we're talking all about the Charleston single style of home. And you've probably seen these, they have the porches on the side with like the fake door on the front. We're gonna get into all of this as we're walking around south of Broad, showing you examples of what they look like. Just like this one here, right across the street from me. So see, we've got the fake door. The actual door is on the porch, and then you've got one room wide there, and then the porch goes all along. So let's talk about the history of these homes and their significance. So the Charleston single has its roots in the city's colonial past, dating back to the 17th century. You know, Charleston was founded and quickly became a thriving port city, and part of the reason that they're built like they are is because of the grid system that the homes were built on. The lots were narrow and long. Some say this is for tax purposes, but I believe that that has been debunked, that that's not actually the reason. So the Charleston single style home came about of a direct response to the size of these lots. Again, they were very narrow on the front with the street and deep back into the property. And by the 18th century, the Charleston single had become the predominant style of home that was being built here in Charleston. Let's talk about this long and narrow design and how that plays into it more than just how the lots were. So when you look at these, you know, the most distinctive feature that it is narrow is it is one room wide, and then it has porches that go all along the side of the home, where typically we are accustomed to seeing porches along the front of the home. Now, this elongated design took advantage of the prevailing winds that came off of the Ashley River and the Charleston Harbor. So with the one room wide, you could open the windows in the front and the back of the home, and the breeze would flow straight through. So you had one room in the front, the hallway in the middle, and a room in the back. And with the windows open, it said that these breezes could cool the homes down up to 15 degrees from what it was outside. So more than just being built because of the constraints of the lot, they were built to cool the homes in the hot, humid Charleston summers like we're having today. So let's get more into this design of the home. So we have the front room with the middle hallway and then a back room. Now, the middle hallway is going to have the stairs that are going to take you from first to second and sometimes even to the third floor. But one of the most predominant features is that piazza, but then that fake front door on the front, which is called the Charleston screen. Now, the porches look into the side yard and not onto the front. Now, what this Charleston screen did was it provided privacy for the people that were living there. So you could sit on your piazza with your family or your friends and not be directly on the street with passersby looking directly at you. Now, the styles of the Charleston single, you're gonna see that they're gonna vary slightly depending on the time period that they were built. Some are more traditional looking, then you're gonna have some aspects of the different eras that Charleston went through. So not all Charleston singles are built the same, but they all have that general layout of one room wide with the porches along the side. So like everything, the Charleston single has gone through an evolution of sorts. Now, originally designed as practical and modern dwellings, when you get into the late 18th century, 19th century, they became more of a symbol of status and wealth. And people embellished their homes and their piazzas with more formal side gardens and intricate interior details to flaunt this status, and wealth. So these homes reflect the prosperity of Charleston's elite. And it's really interesting to see how that has come. And now, even more modern, we get into some that have been converted into duplexes, multifamily, where the top floor, the second floor, and the bottom floor are each individual apartments. And a staircase has been built on the piazza. So your Charleston screen takes you to the front door of the bottom unit, and then those stairs take you to the front door of the top unit. So you've seen they've kind of come through this big evolution of what they are and what they can be. Some other evolutions and adaptations that have been made is kitchens have been upgraded, but they still have that historic significance, but with the modern conveniences. You don't really want your kitchen to be in another building. That just wouldn't be practical. Due to the historic significance of these homes, we have two preservation societies here in Charleston. There's the Historic Charleston Foundation and the Preservation Society of Charleston, and both are working to ensure that these homes do not undergo any demolition or alterations that kind of diminish their historical significance. They work tirelessly on this. Some of these homes have easements to where you can't change things on the outside or the inside. So if you are looking to buy one of these, like, that is something to look into with both of those historical societies, to make sure that any of the alterations that you want to do, you can do. If you need any help with that, just reach out and I can start making some phone calls and figure that out for you. So let's circle back and talk about that taxation myth that I mentioned before. So some people have claimed that the reason that the homes were built like this is that taxation was based upon street frontage. So the thinner you made a home, the less taxes you would have to pay. And I am getting rained on, so we're gonna hurry up and scoot this way, and we'll finish this video where it's not raining. All right, so we ran down here to White Point Gardens. We're into the gazebo to stay out of the rain. So let's talk about purchasing and living in the Charleston single. Now again, it is a very competitive part of the market for a Charleston single because of the exclusivity and the historical significance. Again, they're basically only found here in Charleston, so you can't really go anywhere else and find this style of home. It's like you own a piece of history, which makes it very competitive. So if something does come on the market, like, you have to be ready to jump the second it comes on. You know, down here in south of Broad, where most of these homes are, over 50% of homes sell for cash and in under a couple weeks usually. So you need to be ready, but you also need to understand what it's like to live in one of these homes. Now remember, they're only 1 room wide and 2 rooms deep. So you're not going to get typically a big sprawling estate mansion when it comes to these. You know, you're going to have 2 rooms per floor. So if it's 3 floors, you've got 6 rooms. One's going to be a living room, one's going to be a kitchen. You know, you might have a library, the rest are going to be bedrooms. So something to take into consideration if you need a lot of space or you like that open floor plan, that's not what you're going to get in a Charleston single. So that is something that I think a lot of people need to take into consideration. A lot of people use them as second homes and vacation homes down here, which is, I think, a great use for them, or like let friends come and stay in them, because you are right here in South of Broad. You are easy to get to everything in Charleston with Broad Street, King Street, East Bay Street, and you're just minutes or walk away from the views over the harbor. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive on the Charleston single style home. And I hope you let me know what you learned. Like, what was the coolest fact that you learned down below in the comments? And don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you're looking to make a move in the next 3 days to 3 years, I've got a link in the description where you can jump right on my calendar, or you can email me at info@livinginchs.com. And let's come up with a custom plan tailored to you, whether it's a short-term or a long-term plan to get you into a home in Charleston. Again, my name is Bill, and I'll see you on this video right here. I think you're really going to like it. So go ahead, click it, subscribe first.